Welcome to my night garden. And 10 plus 2 plus for me appearing night 12. So we are going on. Well, today I have to just persevere the cold. It has been raining in intervals throughout the day. So the temperature is about 20 degrees Celsius, which is not cold for some people, but for us who are used to the sun, it is a little bit cold. So today is a relaxing night. A relaxing night in the garden. Again, I found another big container that I need to also repurpose it. It's somehow damaged, so we don't use it for water anymore. So I'll give it new life in the garden. Then I also have some old toys here that I want to also use and grow some succulents. For me, succulents are gold because I'm gardening in droughts. The only plants that have been surviving and remaining green in my garden are the succulents. And the other drought-resistant plants like the passion, the snake plants, lemongrass also has been surviving, aloe vera, what else do I have? So those ones have been behaving well. How is your weekend so far? I went to bring my recording book. Hi, Jimama. How are you? Thank you. You say happy gardening. Happy gardening. Thank you. So today is day 12 in the garden. And I gave myself 10 plus 1, 2 claps for appearing. Even though it is cold. But I said, I'm coming. We are sticking to it so that we can get good things in the garden. So today I want to give an update of the sugarcane. Yesterday I was to do an update of the sugarcane, and again, the time goes so fast. I forgot to give an update of the sugarcane because we have been monitoring the roots. At least I have one container ready, really deep for the sugarcane. So for this one, I cut it on top here just to maximize on the depth, how deep. Instead of cutting it this other side, if I cut it this other side, I can make 2 containers, of which there are some I've cut this other side, and I'm using this, it's not that deep, but it's still good enough, especially to grow my succulents. I have a succulent growing here. Then also I've started onion seeds. Those ones have done well in also in this shallow container. So I have this one, and again today I got another one, which I'm just going to set ready. And the whole day it's been raining on and off, on and off, so it is so muddy outside and it is cold. So getting the composts and the garden soil for today will be a bit tricky. But then also, you notice that my table, the seedling, the planting tray and the other seedling containers are not here because I took them outside to get some rain. There was some interval during the day. The sun was shining, then it started raining, then the sun came out again, so at least they got the sun and they got the rain. And usually when they get the rain, it's like the rain acts as a growth stimulator. They shoot up so fast, even the seeds that had not germinated. After the first day, me taking them outside, I noticed a difference. Because I thought that the cucumber was taking too long to come up. But finally, I did note that the cucumbers had germinated. Then also the tomatoes. I've seen some tomatoes, so you have to record the tomatoes. What I've not yet seen is the eggplants, the capsicum, the onions. So those ones are the ones I'm still waiting for them to show up, to show some signs of even germination. But onions, I know they will take some time. Carrots, they will take some time. The beets are doing great. I know today there will be something different to note in the garden. And now they got some fresh water, some nice fresh water. Nice fresh water, at least to act as a growth stimulator. I know they will really enjoy. Then I'm thinking, I don't know if I can do some sunflowers if I get another container, because for these deep containers, I was targeting to do the sugarcane to see how it will perform. I've never grown sugarcane in containers. And by the way, I have my groundnuts in containers at the moment, and they're already flowering. They already have pegs, so it's time to do some healing up, just adding some soil to get to cover the pegs well, so that I can get more pods. I can maximize, the plant can at least get some good environment to give me a better harvest. So I have plenty of groundnuts in containers in the garden. I hope I'll be able to get some good lights outside. Why, if I go with my camera, you'll be able to see. Because right now this light is here, but even if I try to focus outside there, where I have some Swiss chard growing out there. There are succulents and some other flowers which are not here. I think I should bring, I have some other flowers which I will bring here. Then I was also supposed to start the other variety of colliers that I have in a container. It's outside, but in a very big container. Carrying it, dragging it in will be so hard for me, so difficult for me. Then for this plant, this colliers plant, I also need to do some propagation. But then I don't want to divide it and take it to another pot. I want to grow it into the same pot so that it can be full, to just see how different it will be when it is full. Right now it is only one main stem, and then it looks like it's leaning on one side because it's always trying to follow the direction of light which comes from that, when the sunlight streams from that point. So I am always turning it when it grows, when it slants like this, I turn it. It slants again, I turn it. I keep on turning it like that, just rotating it. Like now you can see somehow the leaves are like this, instead of the normal way they were. Let me just show you. See this? It's slanting on one side. So when I notice that, I have to turn it again. But the other way is also taking it outside, but I've not been taking it outside. But I have this same variety in other containers that were inside here, and they were not performing well. I placed them on the other side, the other end of my veranda garden, and they were not getting good sunlight, so they didn't perform really well. Here at least the sun, it streams, it's a little bit closer just from that space to the colliers plant. The other side and the other end, it was, the containers were on the ground, so they were not performing well, and they also got some pest attacks. So I took them outside in the sun. I was able to revive them again. But then I also need to make them, because they have very long stems, so it's nice to just remake them, to like replant them so that they look beautiful and nice. Then here, at least the new fresh leaves, and when they get some good sun, they get this rich color. But for the ones that are outside, when they get that strong sun, it's like they are fading. But here they have the rich color. I don't know if you can notice the rich color right here. This point, the color is so rich. These leaves. But then down here, these ones at the bottom, it's like they are fading. So getting just some enough sunlight and bringing them back in is good. That's what I've realized about this plant. If it gets too much sun exposure, especially here where the sun shines, it is really hot, and it shines pretty well because we live in a town, okay, suburban town, but it's an arid region. It's a arid area where the main people here are just the pastoralists. They used to be pastoralists, but then now so many people migrated to this area. So it's a dry area. But then when so many people also came, we planted so many trees, so at least it's a bit better now, because when you plant a lot of trees, you create like another cool temperature, another cool environment in your area. So definitely having lots of plants and lots of trees in your area is a plus. So I want to bring in the trays. I don't know if I'll manage to cut the other container. Let me get my gloves. So today they are not that far. The issue is that working on this table at night, get lots of insects. Oh, and I did get one avocado seed that I wanted to start directly in soil instead of starting it in water, the normal way we usually do it in water. Because I have another plant. I will need to bring it. Maybe if not tomorrow, in the coming week, where I have lemongrass growing in the same pot with the avocado, and in the same place I also started there's a tamarind seed, and there is also a pine tree seedling. Because of the position of the pots, the seeds fell in. What was originally in the container was the lemongrass. Oh, and then it also has a tomato plant. And the tomato plant is already flowering. So I've been just timing it to see whether I should remove it, because now I know maybe the tomato plant may not make it. I don't know. Because it's already flowering. So soon we should be seeing some fruits. But it will be interesting to bring it here to the table. I'm thinking, if not tomorrow, next week, I can bring it to the table. Then I also want to see if we just start the avocado seed directly. Now this is not the second time, because there's one. We started and already it is growing. It was directly in soil. We didn't stand it in water using the method you use forks and toothpicks just to stand it in water. We just started it directly in soil and it worked. I did have another avocado seedling that I transferred. And you remember my mango seedling that I transferred? Oh my. It did grow well for some time. Then when I removed it from the pot, transferred it to the field, when there were some rains, because the rains have not been reliable. But after some time the rains cut, and I was not so keen on the watering, and now it looks dry. So I don't know whether it will revive for the avocado and mango seed. That is two. For the mango seed, I also did a video how I just started it from a ripe mango, cutting it, opening up the seed and just planting it direct. And it did grow well till I had a mango seedling. But now after taking it to the field, the issue here is always water stress. And now the rains, they can be heavy this week, then the next week they disappear completely and they go. Or sometimes they are so heavy that even planting is an issue. So I'm wondering how it will be. Let's hope it will be well. So this is the other container. That we're going to use. We have the sunflower that needs that deep container. We have corn that I would just love to see the performance in a container versus the performance in the fields. And which other plants? And we have the sugarcane also. So I'm thinking the sugarcane needs that deep container, the sunflower, and the corn. So for the corn, I don't know if I can fit four of them here, depending on the, only there will be 2 squeezed, but now this is popcorn. If I can fit them here, and then just around the container, I will add some beans. I do have, by the way, I do have some more seeds in my seed bank. So I've already given an update about the peanuts. We are at flowering stage. And let's see. We have some cucumbers, watermelon. The watermelon, I'll just take it directly to the field. For the cucumbers, I have the containers. It's just sanitizing, cleaning them, and getting to fill them with nice fresh garden soil with a mix of my compost. I don't know whether I'll be able to get manure, but I know I have compost. Then I know I have ash. I also have fermented tea. I also have the fermented banana water. So at least, plus the compost, they should be able to serve me well. Because for the sunflowers, the recommendation is that the container should be like, if you are using a container, 18 inches deep. So this should be good enough for the sunflower. So one for the sunflower. Then I think I will do like three. they fix 3 or 4. For corn you can have a little bit more. I think the maximum that I can be able to fit would be like 4 of them in this container. So you need, the container should be like 18 inches deep. Then I will have to take the container outside, and that's why I've also been taking my seedlings outside. Is also the process of just hardening them. At least they start getting used to the sun and the conditions outside. Here they are so protected on the table, but outside there now they get the real environment. They start hardening up. So even if I grow them in the containers, the tomatoes and everything else, I'll just be carrying the containers outside during the day. Then when I need to like get our updates at night to see how they are performing, I'll just bring them inside. So for the sunflowers, we could mix sunflower with sunflower with tomatoes, companion plants. So I'm thinking when you're planting sunflower with either companion like onion, corn, cucumber, lettuce, melon, tomatoes, the sunflower I'm thinking there is just going to like provide support, because when the stems grow and become so strong, especially if you leave it to maturity and you just leave it to dry, you let it dry, I can get more stakes. Now I'll be growing the cucumbers in containers. So by the way, I have to deal with the challenge of looking for enough stakes in the containers, because now where I was growing them, I was reusing the kitchen nets. I do a lot of DIY in the garden. So if you go to my videos where you see the cucumbers, the tomatoes, you'll see I'm using nets. The kitchen nets that when you buy some produce from the market, we don't discard the kitchen nets, we just save the kitchen nets. Then I can tie them together and they are still there in the garden. I think tomorrow I should bring, we'll get to see how they are conditioned. But now because I need to be moving the containers to the veranda garden, taking them out to the veranda garden, I think I will need like to have stakes in every container. So I will need to start looking for them so that I can have like 5. If we have 5 containers for the 5 containers for the cucumber. I think will be good. We can get a good harvest. Because for the cucumbers, it's not like zucchini, that if you plant one zucchini plant, there will be a problem with pollination. The cucumbers don't have that issue. So let me start cutting this container, and today it will take a shorter time because now I want to show you it is damaged at this point. That's why you want to give it new life. And here so if I try creating like 2 containers from it, this top container may not serve me well because of how it's damaged. So I'll just try to remove, and now this means this one is so hard, but we'll be able to do it. We will manage. So in the garden, I do a lot of DIY and hand tools. That is what I have at my disposal, and that's what I work with. So I'll place it on top of this container. I think it will be visible. And start working on it. Now, last time, before I even start cutting, I have so many things to say. Last time, I planted some tomatoes in cement bags. The way I like just reusing things, recycling things in the garden, and I did get good tomatoes. At the moment, I don't know where I can get some other cement bags, because the others, I put them double, but they look old. If I try to move them, I don't know whether they may just tear and pour the soil. So maybe even if I plant something in them, I don't think I should move them. I planted tomatoes in them and they performed so well. Once I get into rhythm, I just continue. almost there, because this other side is just a small space. So hard at that point. Easy but not easy. Easy but not that easy. So this one side is done. So I need to get that here. And you know this side is usually stronger than this other side. Let's see how it will go. Let's get this side. I was checking to this point, get a point that is easy, so hard. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. It is hard. Oh. Almost there, but I want us to start getting the updates for the containers. I will finish that, and then if I do get a third container, so that we have one for sunflower, one for the sugar cane, and one for the corn. One for sunflower, one for sugar cane, one for corn. Then I see what I can mix into the container, or just plant it alone as companion planting. You see the performance. So the containers are out in the garden. So let me start bringing them one by one, so that we can see the changes. So first up, I got the corn that got really hit by the rain. But some are looking good, but others The rain did some damage. But at least we have some that are looking good. Then you have some sunflower, which you have now the true leaves, huh? These are the true leaves. Are starting to show. And also the color is richer today. Then you have container 6, the cabbage. Then you have container 1. our radish and okra. So you can see at some point the rain was so heavy. But then if they don't go out, they won't get a rich color and the warmth that they need. It's like the rain was overturning some seeds. Because it was beating down so hard, with so much force. This is container 5, and it looks like we have, container 5 has papaya and the red bulb onions. So it looks like we are recording something nice for container 5. So what is still left outside is the strawberry. So I want to bring you closer so that you can see how they look like. So we have our book here where we've been recording. Let's start with the corn. So for the corn, look at the blades, looking really nice. They got some nice sun, but then there was some time the rain was so strong, and look at this. So I think I'm going to look at this one. This one has been cut. So we just have to remove it. This one I think I can return it back in, but at least we have some that are looking really nice like that. See? Then for the sunflowers, have you noted that there is something different going on? If you look closely at this point, you see now these two leaves are starting to come. They are starting to grow. So they received some hard beating from the rain, but they seem to be stronger than the corn. And next to it, we have this is container with the sunflower. It's container 4 where we have sunflower, watermelon, and lettuce. So for the watermelon, it's only the 2. I'm not seeing anything else on this other side, but at least now for the sunflower we are noting the leaves, the 2 leaves starting to come. Then we go to container 5. Container 5 has the papaya and the red bulb onion seeds. So look at this. So today we are recording the first sign off. For the red bulb onions, today is day 12. So here, day 12, it's a down arrow. We are seeing the germination. Day 12. That is for the red bulb onions and container 5. So they got the nice sun. And then this is container 2. The container 2 has the radish, eggplants, cucumber, and okra. And look at what has happened. This is the radish that got hit. So let's hope there are some seeds that will survive and do us good. The okra is looking good. We had already noted some germination for the cucumber. And look at this. Remember, the seeds were not that deep. Very heavy rain. You see this? This is like a root that is showing up instead of it being down. Then this one was also okra. You see? They were outside in the rain, so they got hit. We'll see what will happen. You'll see the real picture. Then we have container 1. Container 1, we have the beets, the beetroots, looking good. The tomatoes. Did you record anything for the tomatoes? The tomatoes, yesterday was day 11. We had already recorded sprouting. The first one, I saw the first one. So I'll just like, because at this point, you see here, I forgot to update. Then for some, you'll just see shooting up. And then now, if you don't see the germination, that is why this space is blank. But at least we are up to date with our records so that we can follow it through really well. So I'm not seeing anything else for container 1. Then now we have container 6. With the cabbage, we have more. Look at that. So they survived the strong rain. They survived. So what we have updated today at least is the onions that have come up. We see that the corn is looking good. Wow, looks so nice. Some have been hit. But like this one, I'll just return it. The sunflower, we are seeing now the true leaves starting to come. The onions are coming. The okra are strong despite this, the strong rain during the day. So they survived. The beetroots also survived. And the cabbage. So that is the main update for day 12. Now we have the, for our blog, we have the true leaves. We're seeing the effect of heavy rains. Then containers. Then we also talked about companion planting. We talked about companion planting. And now for the container that I was cutting. So this is it. So I will finish up here and here. Then we can get to grow a few sunflower, a few corn. And what was the other thing we need? The sugarcane. Oh yes, I want to give an update of the sugarcane. And there's one more container here. I forgot again. Got hit by the heavy rain. Look at that. This is container 3. So container 3 has the radish, but the white. And look at this. Are you seeing anything else? Just the radish. But then when this happens, the best thing to do, if like tomorrow, I can just start new radish seeds because they don't take long to come up. Even the radish here, they've got such a big hit because of the rain. And they come up so fast. The ones that didn't come up that fast are stronger. Like the beets, the cabbage, But now look at the radish. They come up so fast, but they are not that strong. So tomorrow, what happens in the garden, if you see that happening, you just replant, because it will be just like some days, a days to a week difference. Won't be that bad, it will be okay, they will still grow well. So we can do some, it's like replacement. So finally, I want to show you the sugar cane. See what we have here. Look at that. I'll just take one. So we have some good rooting. So these ones I want to plant. So the way we'll place them in the container in such a way that we don't cover the shoots that are supposed to come up. Then we'll see how many of them can fit, because this container is not that wide. So maybe only 2 will fit or 3. We'll see how it will all work out. So at least we've updated our records for today. And for the blog, I've noted the changes. Anything else, I will just write when I'm doing the blog. And that will be the update for day 12. Hello, Howie, how are you? So today I'm giving an update for day 12. Nice to see you. So here definitely we will need replacement. Then you notice also the seedlings are quite leggy, and that is why I started taking them outside. The sun is so important. Here they get the sun at an angle, and it's like a struggle. At some point of the day the sun is still shining, so the seed knows the sun is shining but they can't access, so they're trying to like really push up. Though I know the sunflowers are usually naturally they are tall even when I start them outside, but you see how they are even before they start growing. At least now you've seen the first sign of the leaves. So for the radish white, we may need to do replacement. And for the radish cherry red, this is, I think I will push it in. Also this one, but the rest are looking good. So having extras in the garden is always a plus. So that is the update for day 12. So catch me again tomorrow for day 13. I'm so happy that I've appeared in the garden for the 12 days to just see everything live as it is happening, the changes and recording. So thank you, Jimama. Thank you, Howie. Food Forest Permaculture, Jimama grows in the garden. Thank you for joining me. And so it's a cold night. I will give another update tomorrow. Catch me day 13. Thank you all and bye. See you tomorrow.